Hi and welcome to another head-to-head video. If you're new to the channel, my name's Jesse and that's Boo Boo the Custard Kid. Well Boo Boo, what is going head-to-head in this video? Let's take a look. Okay guys, so in this video we got these two. The Mars Bar and the Snickers Bar. Going head to head. So what head to head? So basically in this video, just have a little bit of chat about this, have a look at some history, and then I'll pick which one's my favourite, because to be honest, I don't know which one's my favourite. Right. Now, when did these first launch? I don't know. I've got no idea. I've done no research. I'm actually preferring on the heads to heads to not do any research at all. I want to find out on this video. So I'm going to take a guess when these were first launched. Well, they were around when I was a kid, both of them. Although that one wasn't called a Snickers back then. That's another thing I want to look at. What year did the name change? Because if you were around back then, you'll remember this was called a marathon bar. This was a marathon. Now I've got a feeling the name changed when I was still at school. I think it did. And I left in 87, so I'm expecting it to be around about 85-ish, 85, 86. But I wouldn't like to bet on it. I'm not sure about that. But what year were they launched? Let's take a look. Let's get on the old tippy tappy. And let's go Mars Bar history. Let's see what we can find. So the Mars Bar, I mean, let's go on Wikipedia. Right, Mars Bar. Hang on, commonly known. I haven't given my prediction, have I? Yeah. What year were they launched? Well, I would think as they were around. I know they were around in the 70s and 80s. I would say the 60s, but I have been surprised by like the Cadbury's cream egg. That really surprised me. So I would have said 60s, but now I just have no idea when these chocolate bars come about. Let's have a look. So Mars, commonly known as Mars Bar, is the name of two varieties of chocolate bar produced by Mars Incorporated. It was first manufactured in 1932. In Slough, England, by Forrest Mars. The bar consists of caramel and nugget. What is it? Not nugget, is it? It's nougat. I think I always call it nugget. What is it? Nougat, is it? I don't know. And nougat coated with milk chocolate. What? I'm having a bit of a brain freeze here. I can't think what that's called. I'm sure I always called it nugget. That can't be right, is it? What do you guys call it? Get in the comments, let me know. Is it nougat, nugget, or have I got it completely wrong, eh, Boo Boo? I've probably got it completely wrong. With milk, coated with milk chocolate. An American version of the Mars Bar was produced, which had, I'm going to call it nugget, because I'm sure that's what I used to call it. Because you used to get, when we were kids, I'm sure you used to get them big old bars, like pink and white bars, and that we used to call them nugget bars. Bloomin' great things they were. About that wide, about that thick, and about that long. You know, you'd be eating it for half a day. They were nugget, weren't they? Who remember them? Anyway. American version of Mars Bar was two, which had nugget and toasted almonds covered in milk chocolate. Later, caramel was added to the recipe as well. The American version was discontinued in 2002, then revived in a slightly different form the following year under the same name. Snickers Almond. Right, okay. Snickers Almond. Right, I think we'll leave it there with the old Mars bar. But I tell you what, I love reading up all like, the history of stuff. Like, stuff's been around my whole life, and just them little facts, I didn't know that. I find that sort of stuff really interesting. Before I forget, we'll talk about the size. Before we go on to the Snickers, we'll talk about the sizes. Now, these come out of a multi-pack, right? I mean, I think this one's 39 point something grams and this one's 41.7 grams, I think. Now, I don't know how big they are when you buy them, like off, say like you're in a petrol station and all the chocolate's lined up in it, so you're in a queue, they want you to pick the chocolate up. I don't know what size these come in now, but can you remember, am I dreaming this, but I'm sure in the 80s as well, possibly the 90s, didn't they bring out king-sized ones of these? I mean, they were already big. I mean, these in the 70s and 80s were fairly chunky, weren't they? I mean, they were probably that long, a lot wider than that, half as wide again as that. They were way bigger than that, way bigger. But then they brought out, I'm sure I'm not dreaming this, I'm sure they brought out king-size ones, which were, I think they're the same width, they were just longer. They were about half as long again, and I'm sure they done it with this as well. Let me know, am I dreaming that, or did that actually happen? Are they still around? Can you still get king-size ones? You might be able to, because I don't really... The only chocolate I eat is like buying it in multi-packs in a shop. I don't just go out and buy single, because I don't go in petrol stations and pick chocolate up, because I don't eat during the day, so that's why I don't do it. But anyway, so where was I? So yeah, king size, am I imagining that? Right, let's move on to the Snickers, I think. Snickers bar. We might as well look on Wikipedia. Alright, the history of the Snickers bar. In 1930, Mars introduced Snickers, named after the favourite horse of the Mars family. Why was it called Marathon then? The Snickers chocolate bar consists of nugget, peanuts and caramel with a chocolate coating. We're now coming to it. The bar was marketed under the name Marathon in the UK and Ireland until 1990. So I got that wrong. It was changed after I left school. When Mars decided to align the UK product with the global Snickers name, Mars had marketed and discontinued an unrelated bar named Marathon in the United States during the 1970s, which was similar to the UK's Curly Whirly. Oh God, the Curly Whirly, they were massive when we were kids. They were huge. They're tiny little things now. Shrinkflation. Hen, if you're watching. Yeah, shrinkflation. What a brilliant word. Shrinkflation. I'd never heard of that. Thanks for commenting that word, Hen, because I had never heard it, and I think, what a brilliant word for that. It probably is the word what everyone uses, I just hadn't heard it. So yeah, shrinkflation. Curly Whirly is a classic example. They used to be massive, massive. They were that long, they were about that wide. You know, they were about twice the width, nearly twice the width of that Curly Whirlies were. Not the thickness, the width. They were about that wide. Now they're probably about that wide now, aren't they? And about that long, probably. Shrinkflation. There are also several other Snickers products such as Snickers Mini, dark chocolate, ice cream bars, Snickers with almonds, Snickers with hazelnuts, Snickers with pecans, Snickers peanut butter bars, Snickers protein and Snickers with extra caramel, as well as espresso, fiery and sweet and salty versions. Blimey! Well, if you've caught, I'm actually filming this before I've reviewed them, but the first one should have gone out the day before this one, I think. So if you caught yesterday's video, you will know they have now brought out another version of these two. Now, I'm not sure if they are actually limited edition or they are like proper full-on products what are staying out there. I don't know. But yeah, so if you saw yesterday's video, you will know there's another version of these bloomin' things. So there we go, guys. So that is the history. So this one was, what was it, 1932? Was it 1932? Yeah. So this one actually come out first. Because this was 1930. This one was 1932. Wow, I would have said that would have been first. That surprised me. Right, okay. Well, there we go. They've certainly suffered the old shrinkflation. Right, let's have a go on them, and I'm going to see if I can somehow come to a decision which is my favourite. Let's go on the Mars first. Now, what I should say, as a kid, this was the only one I used to eat. I never ate a Snickers till I was well into probably my 20s, probably. I didn't used to like nuts as a kid, and probably again into my 20s. I didn't like nuts, didn't like anything about nuts. The texture, the taste, hated them. And for some reason, the old switch flicked and I started eating some peanuts and then started eating these. I thought, oh, I don't know, these are all right, these. So yeah, never touched one as a kid, but let's try and see if I can work out which one I like the best now. Quite is nice. Oh, they are good. I honestly can't split them. I can't. I can't split them. I wouldn't like to pick. I always say, if they announce they've got to drop one, if Mars announce they're going to drop one, and they've got to let the public decide which one to keep. Oi, you ain't deciding. Back up. Which one would I vote to keep or get rid of? I honestly wouldn't know what I'd have to do. It, dit, dog, you are not it. You know, we used to do that instead of eeny, meeny, miny, mo as kids. It, dit. I'd have to do that. I would not like to pick. So there we go, guys. I can't pick. What about you? Which one is your favourite? And who can remember these as the marathon? I really thought that name change happened when I was still at school. Got it wrong. Right, guys. The second video, so the video I mentioned earlier, I think they're called triple, what are they called? Triple fruit and nut Mars and Snickers bars. I think that's what they're called, something like that. Snickers triple fruit and nut and Mars triple fruit and nut, I think they're called. So I've already done one, reviewed one, and the other one will be following this video in around about 3 days. The Snickers one, I think it'll be. So yeah, if you want to catch them, what they're all about, one's already out. And like I say, the other one will be out in about 3 days, published in about 3 days. So if you're watching this video at the time of release and you want to catch that second one, please subscribe if you haven't already and hit the old notification bell like Boo Boo never does. I should say, unlike Boo Boo never does. And you'll get a notification when I upload it. So there we go, guys. That's another head-to-head. I really do like doing these. And I've got another one planned, and then I've got another one after that one, which is 2 drinks. And I'm gonna put 2 drinks because there's a lot of I don't know, people always going on about one of these drinks, how it's the best by far on, you know, out there, and I'm not so sure about that. So I'm going to go head to head with one of its major rivals, and I'm going to see if it really does stand up to the reputation it's got. So that will be, I don't know, probably in another 3 or 4 weeks time, that one, because I am doing another couple of chocolate bars after this. So yeah, so really enjoying doing these head-to-heads. They're a little bit different. Get to look at the history, which is really surprising me how far back these chocolate bars went. Boo Boo, I mean, I always thought, you know, with war and that people, you know, that they never had. I thought the Americans brought chocolate over here during the war. I didn't think us Brits really experienced much chocolate before then, but we obviously did. So yeah, that's quite surprising. So there we go, Boo Boo. That is it. That, guys, is another head-to-head video. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. And hopefully they might join us again soon on the next one, Boo Boo. Hey, take care, guys. Now then, which one do I finish first, eh, Boo Boo? Oh, lovely old jubbly. I think we'll have the marathon, I think. Oh, lovely. Oh, lovely, Boo Boo.